There is something about the wolf that most people never understand. We see the teeth, we see the eyes, we see the strength, we see the howl echoing through the wilderness, and we think the wolf is powerful because it is fierce. But that is not the deepest lesson the wolf has to teach us. The real power of the wolf is not simply in its ability to fight. It is in the way it lives, the way it moves, the way it communicates, the way it survives, and most importantly, the way it understands the difference between standing alone and standing together. A wolf is not simply a solitary animal wandering through the wilderness. Wolves are deeply social animals. They live in family groups commonly called packs, and within that pack, survival is not just about the strength of one wolf. It is about cooperation, hunting together, protecting one another, raising young together, defending territory together, communicating across enormous distances. A single wolf may be capable, but a coordinated pack can accomplish things that one wolf cannot accomplish alone. And there is a lesson here for you. Stop believing that needing people makes you weak. It doesn't. The right people can multiply your strength. You may have talent, you may have intelligence, you may have vision, you may have determination, but there are battles that were never designed for you to fight alone. There are dreams that require a team. There are seasons of life where you need people who can carry part of the weight. The wolf understands something that human beings often forget. Strength is not always individual. Sometimes strength is collective. But there is another fascinating thing about wolves. Their pack is not simply a random crowd. It is a family, and that distinction matters. Because being surrounded by people is not the same thing as belonging to a community. You can be surrounded by hundreds of people and still be completely alone. The wolf does not merely live among other wolves. It maintains social bonds with them. It communicates with them. It cooperates with them. It depends on them. And that should make you ask yourself, who are your people? Who can you trust? Who can correct you when you're wrong? Who celebrates when you win? Who stays when you lose? Who can you call when life becomes difficult? Because your environment matters. You cannot spend every day surrounded by people who destroy your discipline and expect yourself to become disciplined. You cannot constantly walk with people who mock your dreams and expect your vision to remain strong. You cannot build a great life while deliberately surrounding yourself with people who are committed to building nothing. Choose your pack carefully, because the people you walk with can influence the direction in which you run. And here's another remarkable thing about wolves. They communicate over great distances. One of the most recognizable sounds associated with wolves is their howl. But the howl is not simply some meaningless cry into the night. Wolves use vocalizations as part of their communication. A howl can help wolves locate one another. It can help maintain contact. It can communicate information across distance. And sometimes, several wolves may howl together. Think about that. The wilderness can be enormous. The distance between members of a pack can be significant. But the wolf has a way of saying, "I'm here. Where are you? Come back. This is our territory. I haven't forgotten you." And perhaps human beings need something similar, not necessarily a howl, but a voice, a purpose, a message. something that reminds us who we are when life becomes noisy. Because the world will constantly try to drown out your identity. People will tell you who they think you should become. Failure will tell you that you are incapable. Rejection will tell you to quit. Comparison will tell you that you're behind. But you need an inner voice strong enough to remind you, this is who I am. This is what I believe. This is where I'm going. And I am not turning back. There is another extraordinary characteristic of wolves: their endurance. Wolves are not simply built around explosive strength. They are also remarkably adapted for traveling long distances. Their bodies are designed for movement and endurance. And when they pursue prey, the hunt is not always about overpowering something immediately. Sometimes it is about persistence. Following, tracking, moving, waiting, continuing, and continuing, and continuing. That is one of the greatest lessons you can learn from the wolf. You don't always have to be the fastest. You don't always have to be the strongest. You don't always have to be the most talented person in the room. Sometimes you simply have to be the person who refuses to stop. There are people who will pass you in the beginning. They may have more money, more connections, better equipment, more opportunities, more experience. And you may look at them and think, I can never catch up. But life is not always won by the person who starts fastest. Sometimes it is won by the person who can keep moving when everybody else becomes tired. Your journey may be long, so build endurance. Learn to work when nobody is applauding. Learn to continue when results are slow. Learn to keep walking when the destination still looks far away. The wolf does not need to see the entire journey before taking the next step. It moves. One step, then another, then another. And eventually, distance becomes progress. But wolves also possess remarkable physical adaptations. Their paws are built for traveling across difficult terrain. Their thick coats help protect them from harsh environments. Their powerful jaws and teeth are adapted for a carnivorous diet. Their senses help them navigate and locate things in their environment. And their long legs and body structure are suited to covering considerable distances. Look at that carefully. The wolf isn't powerful because it was designed for one environment only. It is equipped to survive difficulty. And that is something you should desire for yourself. Don't pray only for an easy life. Build yourself for a difficult one. Develop skills that remain valuable when circumstances change. Develop discipline that survives bad moods. Develop character that survives temptation. Develop faith that survives disappointment. Develop resilience that survives failure. Because you cannot control every environment you will enter. But you can prepare the person who enters that environment. And perhaps one of the most misunderstood things about wolves is the idea of the lone wolf. We love the image, the mysterious wolf walking alone through the darkness, independent, untouchable, answerable to nobody. It sounds powerful, but don't romanticize isolation. Yes, wolves can disperse from their original packs. Young wolves may eventually leave and travel alone before finding a mate or establishing a new territory. But that does not mean the wolf was designed to live its entire existence without connection. In fact, the social nature of wolves tells us something important. Independence and isolation are not the same thing. You should be able to stand alone, but you should also know how to stand with others. You should be capable of making decisions for yourself, but you should also be humble enough to listen. You should be strong enough to walk away from the wrong crowd, but wise enough to recognize the value of the right community. There is a difference between being alone because you are growing and being alone because you refuse to trust anyone. The first can build you, the second can destroy you. And then there is territory. Wolves defend territories. They use scent marking, vocalizations and other behaviors to communicate their presence and boundaries. There is another lesson there. You need boundaries. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to your time. Not everyone deserves access to your mind. Not everyone deserves access to your plans. Not everyone deserves access to your future. You can love people without allowing them to control you. You can forgive people without inviting them back into every part of your life. You can be kind without being available for every demand. Learn to say, "This is where I stand. This is what I will accept. This is where the line is." Boundaries are not hatred. Sometimes boundaries are protection. And finally, listen to the wolf. Not literally. Listen to what its life is telling you. The wolf teaches you that strength can be social, that endurance can defeat speed, that communication can preserve connection, that boundaries can protect what matters, that solitude can have a purpose, but isolation should never become an identity, and that the people you choose to walk with can determine how far you go. So build your pack. Choose your people carefully. Protect your values. Strengthen your mind. Develop endurance. Communicate. Set boundaries. And when the road becomes difficult, keep moving. Because maybe the greatest lesson of the wolf isn't that you should become more aggressive. Maybe it is this: become more intentional. Know who you are. Know who belongs beside you. Know what you're protecting. Know where you're going. And never confuse a difficult journey with a failed journey. The wilderness doesn't care how loud you were at the beginning. It remembers the one who kept moving. So move. Even when nobody sees you. Build. Even when nobody applauds you. Learn. Even when nobody believes in you. And when you finally find the people who share your vision, don't compete with them, build with them. Because a wolf may be powerful alone, but the pack is where its greatest strength comes alive. And perhaps your greatest strength is waiting for you there too.